Hey everyone, I'm Mark, and if you don't know me, I have a business called Nostalski Coaching and Consulting. And today, what I'm going to talk about is something that's really pertinent to, I think, a number of families and students who are going through the whole college search. Now, lately, I've had a lot of calls and discussions about college affordability and financial aid. And one of the things I want to highlight today is a unique aspect that some schools are using, and they've been using it for a long time. But this is where they talk about that they meet 100% of a family's demonstrated need. Now, a lot of people might see that. And there's schools, a lot of schools that have been doing that, and they've been doing it for a number of years. This isn't something new, but I want to talk about this today because I think some people see this, we meet 100% of demonstrated need, and they think, oh, this is a full ride, right? If we can do this, we're going to get a full ride to scholarship to this school. And what I want to show you today is that's not the case. So meeting 100% of need and a full ride scholarship are definitely not the same. So let's dive into this. So I'm going to use one school in particular today. And there's many, but I'm going to use Tufts University. Now, if you're not familiar with Tufts, Tufts is a highly selective school that's in the Northeast in Medford, Massachusetts. So let's start by looking at a little bit of data about Tufts. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and I am going to go ahead and show you some information from College Planner Pro. Now, College Planner Pro is a platform that I pay for and use. It's a proprietary system. I use it with all of my clients, and basically, it gives us a really solid snapshot of almost every school in the country. So if we look at Tufts, one of the things I'll just point out, like I said, it is a most selective school. So 9% of students who apply get admitted. And of the students that are admitted, so you can see from last year, there were about 3,200 students that were admitted, and just under 1,700 actually did enroll. So 9% are admitted, and a little over 50% do end up enrolling if they've been admitted. It has an undergrad population of 6,600. It's located in a large suburban area. And so now what I want to look at is probably where your eyes may have gone to right away. And you'll see that under quick facts here, it says that their their total cost is $86,800. Now, keep in mind that that is the cost of attendance. So whether you're from in-state or out of state, because Tufts is a private institution, their published list price, at least on here, is $86,800. Now, notice though, below it, it says that the average institutional aid is $41,765. So what that's telling us is right off the bat, the overwhelming majority, okay, of students who attend Tufts University are not paying the sticker price. And in fact, the average net price, so that's the actual amount of a student's bill, is $32,720. Now, of course, averages are averages. And what we're going to do today is I want to show you how you can get data specifically for your situation and for your student. But the point I first want to get across is don't let the initial cost of attendance just, I get it, $86,800 is mind-blowing. That's a lot of money. But again, I bet less than 10% of families are paying the sticker price. Everybody else is getting some kind of a discount. Now, the schools will call them scholarships usually, but they're discounts, okay? And you can see the average amount of that discount is almost $42,000. All right, so now how do we take this and make it relevant to our discussion today about understanding a particular family's situation and the meeting 100% of financial need. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to go to the Tufts University page. So I'm going to go ahead and switch on over. All right, so here we are at tufts.edu. And the reason I want to switch over here is because we're going to go ahead and use the information that Tufts University gives us directly. So I'm going to go up here under admissions and aid. Okay, and now I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to go to financial aid. And what we're looking for is their net price calculator. Now, the quickest way is probably to just Google Tufts University net price calculator, but I just want to show you that we can get to it in a number of different ways. So now I'm at the financial aid office. Okay, now notice here we are. We meet 100% of need as determined by our analysis of family financial resources for all admitted undergraduates. Okay. The other thing I'll point out is look at this sentence here. Financial aid for undergraduate arts and science and engineering students is awarded entirely based on need. So what that means is whether if your student scored a perfect 1600 on the SAT or a 1500 on the SAT, whether they have a 4.5 GPA, weighted GPA or a 3.8 unweighted GPA, none of that is going to get you more money because Tufts does not award merit money. They award entirely based on need. So that's financial need. So again, let's dive into this because all of this, we can read this, but let's see what it actually looks like. So we're going to go to their financial aid calculators. And what I'm going to scroll down to is their net price calculator. Every school has a net price calculator. So I want to make sure that you are comfortable and understand how to use these. Now, I'm going to go ahead and scroll down through all of the details here, because what I want to do is just jump into the net price calculator. Now, for every net price calculator, you're probably going to want some information like your W-2s, investments, asset values, things like that. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. All right, so you can see usually what I recommend is that this is done together with the student and the family, the parents or parent. And what we're going to do is I'm going to pretend that I'm the student and I'm filling this out. So my first name is Mark, who is answering all of these questions. It is me. It is not my parent. It is not my counselor. I live in Colorado, and I'm going to say that I'm a current senior. So this is the spring of my senior year. Again, you can do this as a junior. You can do it as a sophomore. It all doesn't matter. It again gives you hints about tax information and what you might want for filling this out. So for today's discussion, note that I'm not going to be worried about is the information I'm putting in, it's not going to be correct for you and your family, because what I really want to focus on is the outcome. So we can talk about this. Now, again, for me, what was my year of birth? Again, considering, if I'm the student, I'm just going to say 2006. I have never been married. I have no dependent children. I'm not an orphan or ward of the court. I'm not an emancipated minor. Thankfully, I'm not homeless. And I am not an active duty or veteran of the armed forces. So you can see right now, we're already a quarter of the way through this. Okay, so I'm going to use a situation where my parents are married. My older parent was born in, I'm going to go ahead and say 76. That the parent's state of legal residence, I'm going to go ahead and use Colorado again. I'm going to pretend that I'm in a household of 4, so I have one sibling. So I'm going to go ahead and say that there are 4 people in my household. I will be the only one attending college, so I have a younger brother, and he will not be going to school for a couple more years. Number of siblings, again, I have one. And like I said, it's a younger brother. So I'm going to go ahead and say that my younger brother is 14 years old and he's an underachiever. He hasn't done college yet. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and hit next. Here we go. We're already, we're almost 40% of the way done. All right. Now we start getting into the numbers. And this is where you'll want some of your tax information. So type of federal tax information that the parents filed. I'm going to say they did a 1040. Now I'm going to say that my parents' combined adjusted gross income was $150,000. Your parents' federal tax payment, I'm going to go ahead and say that they paid $30,000 in federal taxes off of that. I'm going to do work income from one parent. So I'm going to say that one parent brought in 90, the other one brought in 60. So again, we've got a total of 150. And now again, I'm going to say taxable combat paid 0. I'm just trying to keep things simple here. I'm going to say they did bring in $1,000 on interest and dividend. How much did your parents have in a business? They don't own a business. They have not used educational tax credits. They don't have any untaxed income. They do not receive any child support, and they have no untaxed Social Security benefits. All right, so again, we're 62% of the way. All right, now current amount in cash, savings, and checking accounts. So I'm going to say, now keep in mind, and I'll go ahead and click here. This does not include anything that might be in a 529 or investments. Okay, this is literally liquid cash, cash savings, checking accounts. So I'm going to say that we've got 25,000 in cash, savings, and checking accounts. Yes, we own a home. So I'm going to say the current value of the home is $500,000. How much do your parents owe on their home? I'm going to say that they owe, I'm going to say that they owe 150,000 on it. And when they bought it, the purchase price was 300,000. Okay. And the year they bought it, I'm going to say, it was like, 2011, so like 13 years ago, and so that's what they have done with their house. Current value of parents' investments. Again, notice that investments in this case do include 529 savings plans. So that is where you would put in your 529 information, but this is not where you put in, again, any real estate property or anything like that. If you have an UGMA or an UTMA, again, these are assets of the student, not of the parents. So that those would not go in here. So I'm going to say their current investments, we're going to put in that they've got 50,000. They do not own a business. They do not own a farm. They do not own real estate other than their primary home. And we're going to say, okay, what is the current value of assets your parents hold in your siblings' names? So I'm going to say that they've saved, they've got $10,000 in asset for my younger brother. We have not taken on any serious medical or dental expenses, and we do not attend private K through 12. We attend public schools. Okay, 81% of the way through here, right? We've gotten really, so I'm going to do the zip code. I'm here on the east side of Denver. Combined wages, salaries, and tips from your work. Remember, your work is the student. So let's say I worked last summer and I earned $2,000. My AGI was $2,000. I didn't pay any federal tax because, I didn't make a lot of money. Your interest and dividend income, I'm just going to say is 0. I have no untaxed. I saved a little bit. So I'm going to say I've got $500 in my checking account or, of cash checking account. And I don't really have any investments, and I don't have any trusts in which I am the beneficiary. Okay, so we're almost done, right? 96% of the way. So I'm going to live on campus and I am a U.S. citizen. So I'm going to go ahead and hit that. All right. Now, before I hit calculate, I will say that Tufts does offer need-based financial aid for anyone, even if you're not, even if you're a DACA recipient in the country, if you do not have U.S. citizen status, they do offer aid. All right, so let's do the calculation. So as we take a look at this, I want to show you that at the very top, right away, it tells me what our estimated net price is for 1 year. This is for next year. For fall and spring, it is $35,900. Now, again, remember that, and I know this number is a little different from what I just showed you before, but here is Tufts University net, excuse me, cost of attendance, $87,800. That number will not change regardless if you're from 5 miles away from Tufts University or you're from Nome, Alaska. That number is going to be pretty much the same, 87,000. Might change a little bit because of transportation costs, things like that, but for the most part, that's all going to be pretty close. Okay, so the difference between 87.8 and 35.9 is considerable. Well, where did that come from? Well, you can see that basically where it's coming from is from, look at this, a large grant that Tufts is giving us. Now, remember what we talked about, Tufts does not give merit money. So there's nothing in there that is based on an SAT score or my unweighted GPA, nothing. There's nothing like that. They have simply decided, based on the information which we shared, which is all financial, that they're going to give me and my family a discount of $51,900. Therefore, the net price, the money that still has to be covered, right? It's the gap. We need to cover 35.9. Now, here's where understanding the 100% of need kicks in, because now how do we cover the 35.9? Well, let's scroll down, and this is now where the details are important. So what they're saying is that to make up that net price of 35.9, they're going to expect a parent contribution of 25,650. They're also going to expect a student contribution of 2750 for a total of 28,400. Now you might be thinking, well, okay, well, where does that come from? That's up for you. That's up for me and my family to decide. The 2750, like I told you, right now I have $500 in my savings account. Okay, well, they're saying that they expect me to put in 2750. I don't know. I got to start a lemonade stand. The parent contribution of 25,650. They're not telling you like how you get this money, but they are saying that they are expecting that the family is contributing 28,400 for the first year. Now, let's go to the next step, because this is where it gets, again, it continues. The other thing that they are offering to you, which isn't a surprise, is number one, student loans. So they're offering $5,500 in federal direct loans to me, the student. Well, I can tell you this is not unique to Tufts. Every student at every school is eligible for $5,500. Regardless of your financial situation, you are eligible to take out $5,500 for your first year. So that number can change for your second year, but in your first year, a student can take out $5,500 in federal direct aid. Student work is work study money. So they're saying, hey, also again, based on your financial need, we're going to give you $2,000, which you, Mark, can earn by working over the course of the year. So what they've done here is in meeting their 100% of demonstrated need, they've given a grant, a $51,900 grant, but they're also still expecting that the family is kicking in 28,400. And there's still an expectation or an opportunity, I guess, for the student to take out $5,500 of loan. So the idea of meeting 100% of demonstrated need is definitely not the same as getting a 100% full ride scholarship. It still means, in this case, a sizable contribution from the family and the student even taking on loans possibly. Now, what's not shown on here, and I want to unpack this to the next step, is if you're wondering, well, I don't have 25,650 as parents to contribute, then the question becomes, well, where does that money come from? And even though student loans are listed on here, what they're not showing are Parent Plus loans. Now, Parent Plus loans are a big deal in this country. They are available nearly to every parent or every parent, but they come with a significant downside. They have higher interest rates, so they are a federal loan, but they do come with higher interest rates to the tune of about 8%. So remember that this is year one. And what is year two? What is year three? What is year four going to look like? Because this financial aid package from Tufts University is for year one. There's no way to know what this package is going to look like for my sophomore year, because we have to do this whole process over again. We have to fill out the FAFSA. Tufts is a CSS profile school. We'll have to fill out the CSS profile, etc. So this is a good way to get started and at least understand what kind of money they might be throwing at us. Is it affordable? I don't know. That's your particular family's situation, but I wanted to make sure that you saw how this idea of meeting 100% of financial need, of demonstrated need, appears at one school in terms of how they do this. All right, so there you go. We dove into some specifics. You got to see some information from my College Planner Pro program. We dove into the net price calculator for Tufts University. And what you're going to find is every school pretty much has kind of a different style of doing their net price calculator. Please use those net price calculators and get the best information that you can to put into them, because like with a lot of things, if your data going in isn't good, the data coming out isn't going to be good. So I hope that was helpful. I hope you know a little bit more about financial aid and this idea of meeting 100% of demonstrated financial need. Thanks for watching. Please let me know if you have any questions or reach out to me. I'm happy to respond and work with families on any of these types of questions. Have a great day.